Well, hello. Welcome to the State of Grace Live podcast, where we dive deep into the stories of incredible individuals who have faced immense challenges, triumphed over them, and are on their journey to finding their own state of grace. And today I am thrilled to introduce to you my friend Lahna Turner. She's amazing. I'm just going to browse through her credits because it's like insane. She First of all, she's a comedian, a fellow comedian, a writer, and a mother. Okay. She has navigated through a lot of tough obstacles, and we're going to learn all about them today. She actually has appeared on many popular platforms like, I'm going to have to read this so you'll see my eyes going. NBC, Comedy Central, Hulu, Animal Planet, Netflix, Tubi, VH1, and truTV. She has performed at premier venues worldwide and participated in several USO tours. Her critically acclaimed comedy albums, If These Lips Could Talk, Dick Jokes and Other Assorted Love Songs, and Limeade are a testament to her comedic prowess. Please welcome my friend, Lahna Turner.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I like how you kept a straight face and said dick jokes.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, being a stand up, that's like nothing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like every day.
Dick jokes.
Dick
But
jokes.
yeah, it makes sense.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that. But so today you're here on the State of Grace. I'm so excited to have you here. And you have had many challenges in your life. And we're going to start with the one that you want to start with. Okay.
Okay.
We talked about three things that you had to overcome. And we talked about your state of grace and how's that. But we're going to first start talking about your first and biggest challenge in your life.
Sure. Of course, I want to always start out by saying that I'm chronically hair challenged right now. That's a whole
Yeah.
other thing. I think that started early too. But what you are talking about, my first challenge was in second grade. I was diagnosed with learning disabilities,
Yeah.
and that when I was little, like right now, it's not uncommon and people talk about it, but when I was young, I was in second grade. I was in a Canadian school system, which
Oh,
was why it was even detected. And I was pulled out, and it was literally called the dummy room. Can you believe that? I mean, yeah, I know.
what?
No, I don't think the teachers or the parents called it that, but I mean, nobody had any problem saying, "Oh, you're going to the dummy room." And so I went
Oh,
down to the dummy room, and
yeah.
um, got tested and then diagnosed, and then I would have to go there every day to try and kind of fill the gap in what was a discrepancy. So, ADHD and dyslexia and all those names that are very common now. But my
Yes.
discrepancy was that my writing, I tested out on the ability to write on like a 99th percentile, like super high aptitude for writing. And on a 30th percentile for grammar, spelling, punctuation, all the stuff that it makes for technical writing, which is why I'm a really good comedy songwriter or just
Great.
music like lyricist, because
Yeah.
that doesn't require grammar, spelling, or punctuation. Um,
Right.
but it was a big challenge big hit to my self-esteem. I think everything we do in our lives leads you to a particular point. So,
Yeah,
made me a
absolutely.
comedian. Anyone with a low self-esteem ends up on stage as a comic or stripper, I guess. But
Look at me. Yeah, absolutely. Right. But
yeah,
but you call this disability learning disability more a superpower rather than
yeah,
a disability. Can you tell us why you feel it's your superpower?
I do. I really believe it's my superpower. I mean, like, look, I'm super creative, and I've managed to find my way through this. I think people with this type of learning disability look at the world from a different perspective. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a blessing. I think honestly, struggles can turn out to be blessings. I mean, it's a challenge to get over something, and when you do, you're like, all right, I grew in a different way. And I mentioned to you earlier, my grandfather, he spent his whole life not knowing that he was dyslexic. He just thought he was um, like too stupid to learn how to read because, I mean, he grew up in the Depression, very poor. But my grandfather was brilliant. He actually became a very successful entrepreneur, and it was a total rags to riches story. And when I was diagnosed, it was like the light came on for him because he was like, "Oh my gosh, I spent my whole life thinking that there was something wrong with me, and there was, but nobody had a name for it." And then when my son got diagnosed, I was on it because I knew what was going on with him, and I was able to help him through his journey. And he's not even getting any extra assistance. Like he's fully like out of the dummy room. They don't call it that anymore, but he also didn't like going and being pulled out of class to have, the extra support, but
Yeah,
it was really good. He's solid now. So
that's great. And back in the day when your grandfather was alive, um, they didn't know, they didn't have names for all these things. Our generation was more like sometimes, they kind of, okay, she's different or he's different. And then now it's like everybody's neurodivergent. I think there's more neurodivergent people than neurotypical.
yeah, I
Uh,
think it's too much. Like maybe some of the blanket words that are super offensive, I tend to like. So
right, right. Of course, you're a comedian. Yeah,
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 yeah.
absolutely. The dummy room. I can't get over that. Have you ever written about that in your comedy or in a book or anything?
Well, I've been working on an autobiographical book, and it's in there. So,
Oh,
and
good.
I say working on, I have it pretty much done. But it's a daunting task to write a book, especially that took a lot. But as somebody who was like, diagnosed with this disability, I've been able to write in a whole book, which I take a lot of pride in. So we'll
That's
see how it's
that's
received.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. So then in your 20s, something happened also, right? You had a significant accident. And how did that event impact your life moving forward?
It's actually a pretty funny story. I was
It is
driving home
funny. Oh my
from
God.
yeah,
You
because
okay?
it started my comedy career. So I was driving home. I've always played guitar, like, since I was very little, and, I just always wanted to figure out how to be a songwriter, and I would write little songs or whatever, and do you remember, I don't know if you ever heard, there was a song by the Judds called Daddy's Hands? I don't know. I was in Texas driving from my college back home, listening to radio. There was, limited radio stations in the middle of nowhere, and up pops Daddy's Hands by the Judds. And I think this is funny. So I write my own version of the song, not a parody, but like just inspired by this. Daddy's hands, they were rough in the right places, this kind of thing, right? And
Yeah.
I put the lyrics on the seat next to me, and I'm driving, just singing. And then all of a sudden a tire flies out in the road in front of me.
Oh,
And yeah, and it flipped my car. I hit it going fast enough to where it lifted me up on 2 tires and then back down, and the momentum flipped me
oh,
and, totaled the car. And we were talking about moments in your life where you have sort of peace. Um, and that was probably the most peace I've ever had because I was the most and in this what felt you hear from people when they say they've been in a car accident or whatever, it feels like a really long amount of time, but it's very short. I
short. Yeah.
remember I remember bumping arou I remember everything in slow motion, and it was a really peaceful moment. I'm just sort of, like, out of control. I just had to sit there and go, "Okay, this is gonna end, and it's gonna end how it's gonna end, and I have 0
Yeah.
control on this." And I was
Interesting.
very lucky. Yeah, no, I was really lucky because it while I totaled the car and flipped it, it didn't have any additional impact. It stopped maybe 15 feet from a pole, so I if I'd have been just a little further, it
Wow.
had an additional impact. Very lucky, and it was also in a Volvo. When I got my first car, my dad gave me his old Volvo, and we used to joke that it was the condom. Not with my parents, with my friends. My
Okay.
dad was like, "Here, baby, here's the condom." But I used to call it and it saved my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because the police officer who came, he said, "You were wearing your seatbelt and you were in a very safe car. Otherwise, you would not have walked away from this thing."
No,
And
absolutely.
but I did walk away, but I had a lot of pain for the first time in my life, and it that night completely changed the trajectory of everything going forward. And I changed my
That's
career path. I
wow.
traveled for almost a year, and when I came home, it was almost a year to the day from which I wrote that song and had the accident to which when I decided to go into the Houston Laugh Stop and play that song and that night I became a comedian.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's did you just the fact that in those situations you're facing your mortality, it's such a powerful thing. If you make it, obviously, if you make it through, it's just you just um it changes your whole point of view about life and everything. And that was a very early age for you to have that, face your mortality and have this impact your life so profoundly. So you actually made it into a positive rather than, be afraid. Did it take away your fear of death, facing death like that?
I mean, it definitely made me change my ideas about how I was gonna live my life.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's funny because um, all those years leading up after the accident, my mortality wasn't that yeah, I mean, you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna live my life." Having kids changes that back because now these 2 humans are relying on me, but yeah, I was pretty reckless, and I I do think we're only here for a short amount of time, so you
Yeah.
gotta do what you wanna do, and I mean, I'd been so there's 2 funny parts of the story that I have to tell you because the lyrics that I'd written had actually flown out the window of the car, and when I was walking around the exterior of the car, I saw them on the ground, and I picked them up and put them in my pocket, and that was the only reason why I even wrote the song. Because the next day, I sat down on my guitar, I was like, "I should probably do this," and I was in a lot of pain, but I figured out the song. Um, but the fun part is that had the wreck not gone okay, like, had I actually died and the lyrics were in the seat next to me, my poor father, like, it
What
would
they
have
were
been like
like,
some kinda incest suicide note.
oh my God. Oh my, well, knowing you, it's probably not parent friendly for sure.
No, it
Yeah.
was about incest. It was like a song. I mean, I have the song recorded. You can find it somewhere online, I'm sure, but it's like, it's about my daddy's hands.
Oh my
My poor dad. So, yeah. But, no, I mean, I'd been working, so I was kinda I was on an unconventional trajectory as was because I was working as a photojournalist.
Okay.
I Yeah, like, I was really young. At 19, I got an internship at the Associated Press in Houston, and it's all I wanted to do was just photograph and, document, and I loved the feeling of taking an image and developing it in a dark room, and I mean, it's just like I just had such a passion for this, and I got my degree in it, and I was working as a photographer. I'd been working since 19, and then I graduated school, but the car accident, coupled with the fact that I'd also gotten a summer internship at a major newspaper, and that paper had folded because, as we know now, like, there's no newspaper, so it was a warning that, "Oh, this field is changing." But the accident it made it hurt for me to just pick up my camera. So there was a window of time when I couldn't physically pick up my camera, and that scared
Yeah.
me. And I'd been saving up money to buy some new equipment for because I'd already knew what I wanted to do. It was my path was so set. I was going to graduate, buy this. It's called a 300-2.8 lens. At the time was like a $5,000 lens. I've been socking away money for it. And instead, I took that money and I traveled, and I traveled for 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing though. Where did you go?
I went first to Israel, Jordan, Egypt, India, and Nepal. And for 5 of those months that I was on a kibbutz. So that's why I was able to stay for 9 months, because 4 of those months is what I was able to do on $5,000, which places like India, Nepal, Jordan, and Egypt are very, very affordable. So I could stretch $5,000 out for a long time, and 5 months working and studying in Israel, which I'm very passionate about. And right now intense conversation.
It is. Well, let's address Dave. His name is Dave, Holly Dizzle. As a child, Lana moved with her family from Canada to Houston, Texas, due to her father's career with Exxon. Okay. Fun fact. So, what
Wait, I'm confused. So Holly like is commenting or
he's commenting. Oh, yeah. You don't. Okay. Okay. Let me give you the tea. So, the on YouTube, people can comment and we can post the comments on this app, on this StreamYard
oh
software.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a comment. And so what Dave does is he gathers facts and just puts them there. And so we post them and they're like conversation pieces. So
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So how old were you when you moved from Canada to Houston?
Um, I was going into middle school at the like moment of puberty, like
Oh,
armpit hair, BO,
yeah.
braces, like big frizzy fro, like it was not pretty. And
Oh,
I is like the worst. And Canada was super innocent, and I got dropped in this like middle school where it was like sex and drugs, and it was really I was like, where's the vinegar for your fries, and like
it was a culture shock,
it
I'm
was
sure.
yeah, it was wild. It was a
Yeah,
big change, but yeah, yeah.
it is. I can relate to that. Yeah, culture shocks. I moved all the way from Argentina to here, so
That's more extreme.
that is very extreme. Yes, and I moved to New Orleans, and people talk with an accent, and I had no idea what the hell they were saying with the
Wow. Yeah,
Southern
New Orleans
accent.
is its own culture too.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's great. I loved living in New Orleans. I even have a character now called Bale and Love from the South because I had to. You know, the cultural shock. It was like, yeah, very intense.
How old were you when you moved?
I went to college, so I was early 20s.
Wait, so you went from Argentina to go to university, and did you go which school did you go to?
I went to Loyola, but
Loyola.
I
Oh,
also
nice.
have degrees from the University of Buenos Aires. So, and I moved here. Yeah, I got married and I moved. I wanted the hell out of Argentina. Yeah. So,
I've
but I
not been to
married for love.
Argentina.
I didn't marry for the green card. I did, honest, I did. So, yeah. But anyway, back to you. So,
Okay.
yeah, back to you. So, I know that one of your biggest challenges that you faced was the loss of your husband, Rafi May, who was
Yeah.
a well-known comic. Of course, losing a partner is never easy, but on top of that, you were left with two young children and a lot of financial burdens, right? So, how did you navigate this incredibly difficult time in your life?
I'm still navigating it. It was a mess, dude. Like,
Yeah, right?
yeah, and it's hard for me to like make it funny. So I
Yeah,
always want to make things funny. Um, yeah, like so there's a lot of stuff that was said online that it's a constant effort for me to try and like this is not what happened. Ralphie had been very, very sick I mean, look, when I met my husband, when I say this, people are like, what? But my husband was 800 pounds when I met him. We became friends. And
what?
I had no idea he was 800 pounds, but like it's kind of a crazy thing when you're with him, and I think with a lot of people, like it just faded away. Like he was just so sweet and funny and charismatic and lovely and all these qualities that I was like, he's just this wonderful person. And I wouldn't, at first when I would see him or if I hadn't seen him for a while, I'd be like, yeah, he's really big. But then you just hang out and that like kind of all goes away.
Yeah,
But the reality is when you have that issue, there's not else more going on. And I just loved him and believed that he could get better. And but addictions don't stay as
yeah.
one addiction. So food led to drugs and
Oh, wow.
other things. And so at the end of his life, he was very addicted to a lot of substances. And the sweet person that I had married and met early on was not really there anymore at the end. And that's a really sad thing.
Yeah.
Um, I told you it's hard to make it funny.
I know. Well, here a little fun fact before we move on. We continue to talk about that part of your life. At age 19, Lana started an unofficial membership with the Associated Press, which led to a freelance position with the organization.
Yeah, internship, but yeah. Yep, it was cool. There was this man that I absolutely loved named Rick Bomer. You probably look him up. He's one of the most talented photographers, and, he took me in under his wing, and I just oh my god, I just loved him so much, and, followed him around like a puppy dog and learned how to be a photographer from, like, a seasoned photojournalist. It was really cool. It was
That
really,
is
really
so
cool.
cool. Do you still do photography?
Not like that, no. I am doing a documentary, though, so this
Yes,
has been
that's
ongoing. So there's so much grace. So when Ralphie and I were together the last year before he filed for divorce, now that's something people think I filed for divorce. I did not. He filed for divorce. I responded in California, and then my response ended up in TMZ. So everybody just assumed I filed. I wouldn't have left him. He was sick. I should
oh
have, but I would not have.
wow.
And
Yeah,
he
you're loyal.
yeah, I just I knew he needed help and
Yeah,
but he separated from me, which was probably a good thing, but
yeah,
that's a long conversation. But anyways, that year prior we were filming a weight loss journey. That was the intention.
yeah.
And it didn't obviously go well. But I had all this footage, and then the woman who shot the footage attempted to edit together a piece, and she did, and it went to a couple of festivals and it did well in the festivals, but it had so many technical issues and this and some story arc issues and things that just wasn't worthy of Rafi was not an indie artist. And
Mhm.
so I took back the footage it belonged to me anyways, and I then recut it, and I just I had locked picture on it, sent it to legal, have a couple of legal issues I have to clear up in it. I'm doing that on Monday, and hopefully then it will be officially locked. This thing is like
Yay!
it's so much work. I but anyways, I attribute my a little bit of what I'm doing now when you ask about photography or my photography was very much about documenting the human condition, and
There you
this
go.
I never dreamed that I would be documenting my own life.
Right.
Um, but I'm really proud. I really hope when this thing gets done that it helps people because it's
Absolutely. It definitely will.
yeah. I
100%.
believe it will. It's got a
Mhm.
lot of things in it and a lot of advice. Talks about addiction, codependency, food addiction, and his story, and then a lot of my I'm a codependent, so it has
Oh,
stuff in there for me as well.
absolutely.
So
And
I've been talking about this thing for nearly a decade, and it's to the point of nauseum, and people probably hear me talk about it, and they're like, "Really? Is this really happening?" Yeah, it is.
yeah,
But it's
it's been a long process for sure. And how has working on these creative projects help you in your healing process?
interesting. I don't know how to answer that because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch. Oh, somebody wrote thank
So
you.
sweet.
Cry. I cry at everything for somebody's supposed to be funny.
Thank you, Jay.
That's so sweet. Um, oh, let's see, we're getting nice questions. Good. We can get off the intense stuff.
Yes.
The documentary's been helpful in that, like, well, my kids are older now, so I can show them like this is what was going on when you were little.
Right.
That's really helpful. For me, I think when I finish it is when I can go, okay, like this is for we can close this chapter. And
Yeah.
I I don't know if people linger after they've passed. I
Mhm.
think that there's something there,
Yeah.
and maybe he's kind of waiting around to see how it goes. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
To
And
answer your question.
thank you. No, and what I'm hearing too with everything that you've told us is that using all this pain, because it's painful to produce this documentary after all you've been through with Ralphie, and all your pain is there, all his pain is there, and you're using this, you have in your heart, you have it in your heart to help other people, with the intent to help other people, and that's a beautiful thing, and that I think in itself is healing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that assessment, and I also kind of have to do it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't, there's just, it wouldn't be right not to do it. Like, it's just, it's so good. There's so much beautiful footage, and I don't know, it just deserves to be out. As a creative person, that's my feeling. As a personal, like, that's my story, I'd rather it never come out. Like, I'd rather just like, oh, because it's not pleasant. And I'm saying all this now, like, nobody can see it yet. So, but
Right, right. No, but I get it. I get
like,
it.
there's
You're
moments
being
in this thing that I'm just like, oh, I wish I could go in there and just like pull myself out, or I wish I could go back in time and do
mm,
something different. But it'd be more fun for me to talk about this with you when we're done with it.
when
So you can
it's
be like,
done.
oh, yeah, it's
Yes,
fun. Sorry,
absolutely.
guys. And
No,
I
no, totally.
hopefully
And
it'll
we
be
can
done
show
before the year.
footage. Yes, yes. No, absolutely. But I love that you're doing this, and I think it's definitely going to help your healing 100%, and other people are going to heal from it too. So it's a win-win, right?
Win.
Yay,
Yes.
we love winning. So, um, when we talked the other day, you were mentioning that you're still on your journey towards reaching your state of grace, which, as we all know, the state of grace is what I call the ideal state of being. So, could you share with us what does your ideal state of grace looks like?
Um, that's I want to be you. I
You're so silly.
want to be Grace. Um, you know, it's hard because I feel like once I would find some place that I felt I like every day I feel like we find us a moment, and not, maybe not every day, but like where I can look out my window and go, huh, this is like I have a good life. Like, and I really do feel that way. Like I feel like I'm blessed. Like, we were talking also about how good we have it in this world. Like, we live in a
Yes,
country with toilet paper. Like, everywhere we go, there's toilet paper. Like, if you go in a bathroom and there isn't toilet paper, you're annoyed by that fact. Like,
yes,
and that is awesome that we have that privilege. Um,
yes.
and clean water, and I I always think back to this time when I was in India. There was a woman that I was traveling with a boy that I was dating at the time, and he and I would walk past this baker, and she didn't have a nose. Like, there was just a hole here, like,
Oh,
and I would say, like, "Oh my gosh, like, this poor woman, she doesn't have a nose." And then he would say, "Well, there's something there that looks like a nose." And then I would say, "No, there's I don't see a nose." And he would say, "No, I kind of see, like, she has something of a nose." And we'd go back and forth, and we'd have, like, this nose conversation, and this went on for
yeah,
a week. It was very surreal, and it was like and so even after we'd leave that town, I would just be like, "She has a nose," and he'd be like, "She doesn't have a nose," and we'd have this, like, nose argument because it was so bizarre. And I realized that I will never not have a nose, and so therefore, I think I have a really awesome life. Like,
absolutely.
oh,
Yes,
I just that just there's so many people in this world that have so many real problems. Like, when we talk even about, yeah, I lost my husband, but like, that sucks. And yeah, it's really painful, but like, I have a really good life. Like, I have healthy kids. I have my own health. Like, you've been through so much, Grace. Like, I feel like I'm just so blessed. And so
yes.
if that is a state of grace, I don't know. I mean, because I'm always sort of like striving to be better and find other things, but I'm
It's
probably saying too much, but
what I'm hearing is your state of grace is gratitude.
yeah, maybe.
That's
I
what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I think you can kind of believe something and then it's true. So I've always believed that I'm lucky, and
Yeah.
even through the tough times, like I'm lucky. Like
Yeah.
I'm,
You can always find something, like I'm always like, wake up and thank you for my apartment. Thank you for my food. Thank you for everything. I practice gratitude on the regular because I am so lucky. And a lot of us, in this competitive world, we look at, oh, well, she has this and I don't. They have this and I don't. And it's like, it's instead of abundance, we look at the lack. And I think with gratitude, we look at the abundance, and that keeps you focused and attracts more abundance in your life.
right. We have like endless toilet paper.
Oh my God. In Argentina, they don't even have toilet paper in public
Most
places.
of the world doesn't have toilet paper. That's what's
I
like,
know.
which I don't even like it. Like I think it's kind of gross. Like I'd rather we had the
It's
big
so
conversation.
gross.
Yeah,
Girl,
like it's better. Like, but
when I went from one part of town to the other, I learned how to hold my pee like really well.
have
Uh,
you ever used a Japanese toilet? Let's just be real here. Like
yeah.
that's what's up. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or you had like I had to stop at my aunt's house when I was on the other side of town and be like, I just have to use the bathroom because it's no toilet paper, no. And I would not be carrying toilet paper in my purse or in my backpack at the time because I was in college. But yeah.
Well, I think
So,
I've just decided in this moment, the true state of grace is a Japanese toilet. That's where I'm
there
just
you
saying,
go.
it heats up for you, it sings to you, it sprays water. Like, what could be
I love
better?
it.
So that's
that
what we
that
all
sounds
need, and
good.
we're done.
That sounds really good to me. Another thing that we talked about the other day, it was about forgiveness and how challenging it is to forgive somebody who you feel has wronged you. So, do you feel like you have forgiven Ralphie, or do you still feel like you need to let go and cut the cord and just let it go and forgive?
And yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard for anyone who doesn't know what happened to understand this, because he's an awesome person and did
Yeah.
awesome things. But if I guess the way I would explain it to anybody is, if you've ever known somebody deep in the throes of addiction, they're not so awesome. And
Right.
so that part of him is really hard for, and I mean, and he left things for me in a way that was really hard. Um, so yes, I want to really and every so every time things go by, I let go, and I'm letting it go, and I think when I get through this project, I can really be like, mwah, like we did it. We got
It's your healing project for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I think so. Because I want to just have the feelings of love for him,
Yeah.
and it's hard, especially when I'm reliving all the footage from the end of his life.
Yes, that has to be
It's
tough.
really triggering. And
Very triggering. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But once it's gonna be over, are you gonna distribute it? Where are
I
you?
yeah, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but and I can forgive him because I know he was sick, and I know that, like, it wasn't his intention to to hurt. And that's part it's a disease.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
When we put,
rationally I know all those things, and I'm getting there. I really am.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get it. Yeah. And I don't know, for me, forgiveness has been cutting the cord. And I was telling you the other day how I speak into the ether, like, when people are thinking, like, there's a particular person that I know is thinking about me because I think about this person out of the blue, and when that happens, they're thinking about you, right? And so I started screaming, like, stop thinking about me. Like, I'm cutting the cord right now, like a crazy person here in my apartment. And I do that, and I don't know why, but I've been doing that lately, and it helps big time. I recommend it highly to all people out there who are crazy enough to scream out and talk to the ether. Do it because it works. It's amazing. Oh, thank you for everything, Lana. You are so
Oh,
sweet, Jay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
this
Well,
is really nice.
I think it would be great to have you back after you finish your project and it's out there, or maybe you can premiere little snippets here on the State of Grace podcast.
When I get there, yeah, I'd be thrilled. You know, I love you, Grace.
Oh, I love
Just
you too. You are
so
awesome.
anytime I can spend with you, whether it be on a computer screen or getting a coffee,
A $10 coffee, right?
what the hell?
$12
Yeah,
coupon.
place we went and got went to get coffee, and I got like a just a green tea, like a matcha. I
Yeah,
can make it in my kitchen. It was like $10,
I
and
know.
it was in a goblet glass. That was cool. For
Yeah,
10
but
bucks.
doesn't justify, that's for sure.
No,
Yeah, I know.
I'm so
LA.
my I have this bit that I've been working on. We're talking about my grandfather earlier. About my grandfather worked for an organization called SCORE, which is I actually have a business advisor that I work with who's an older gentleman at SCORE because it's so cool. I recommend it for anybody but anyways, who's like starting a business or wanting any advice in that. But I imagine in this bit that I've been working on that like I go to my grandfather and I'm like, Grandpa, I want to start a business. Oh, what's the business? I want to sell coffee. You mean coffee for a nickel a glass? No, Grandpa, it's going to be fancy coffee. We're going to sell it for $10 a glass. He's going to be like, what? What kind of asshole is going to buy coffee for $10 a glass? You're out of your mind. It'll never work. And then you go through the whole, but it's going to have, specialty milk in it. You mean like the creamer? Like that powdered shit? No, Grandpa, like oat milk and almond milk. And we're going to, it
A
just goes
great
on
bit.
and on until it gets to the point that, well, when you go to the coffee shop, you can get on the internet. What the fuck is the internet? Oh, can I curse? I didn't even. And then
Oh,
he's like, they're like, well, Grandpa gives you access to the world. And he's like, the coffee's $10, but the internet's free. Your business model is so wrong, upside down.
that's a great bit. Definitely work it, girl, because I love it. It's amazing.
Tie everything back in. So, Grandpa, coffee.
I love it. Great. It's like a callback
Yeah, our podcast
from the
went full circle.
yeah, a pod callback. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Lana, for sharing your story today. And your journey is really a testament to your resilience, creativity, and the power of perspective.
Yay.
So I'm rooting for you, girl. And I know the audience is rooting for you to continue this journey of healing and success, so much success on your documentary. And that I hope it helps not just you, but lots of other people when they watch it.
Aw, thanks, Grace.
You're
Thank you. I love
welcome.
you. Thank
I
you.
love you too. And we're going to see each other soon.
Yep. I look forward to it.
Me too. That's
Guys,
going to be
thanks
fun.
for watching and hanging out with us.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. We have two more comments. Okay. Lana, the best you are. Oh, I
And
love it.
Cuban coffee. That's a Ralphie bit, I think you're quoting.
Oh, really?
Maybe. I don't
Cuban
know. Or maybe
coffee,
it's
azúcar?
well, he did a joke about Cuban coffee, but maybe it was just a Cuban coffee reference because it
No,
is.
I think it's because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Sorry
so.
about my hair tonight, guys.
Oh, your hair looks
Permanently archived now
fabulous.
on YouTube.
Your hair looks amazing. After chemo, my hair grew like straight. I don't know what to do with this hair. I have no idea. I used to have hair like you, and now it's kind of straight. I'm like, what is
What baby
this?
hair you've got now?
I like the hair. I mean, see, be careful about what you manifest. My mom, when I was little, I had curls, and she thought they were hideous because she had straight hair, and
Oh,
she would like iron my hair. She would like, with those brushes, like it would hurt. And she always wanted, she put in my head that straight hair was better than curly. So I always did my hair straight when I didn't have it curly until I appreciated my curls. And then I got cancer and went through chemo and it grew straight. What is
now you want it curly again.
no?
You don't have,
I
right?
don't know.
That's not a state of grace.
I
Just
know.
accept it.
No. But I'm happy I have hair, girl. I have tons of hair. It's growing
It's
back.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I love this hair actually. So I'm not going to complain. I'm grateful for my hair.
Yeah.
All right, girl. Well, thank you so, so much. And I will see you soon, and you'll be back here after your documentary is done, and we'll
Thank
talk
you.
about it.
Yep. Then
You're
we'll
welcome.
tie it all back together. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know how many people are tuned in now, Paxton. Can you tell me? Oh, I said your name. Oh my gosh. Okay. His name is not Paxton. Six. Okay. Thank you. So it's the same people that have been tuned in for quite a while. So if you guys want to continue this, we can continue because I promised an after party. And I'm going to drink my water because I'm a water girl. And my purple, everything is purple in my house. I love it. Purple and burgundy, as you can see by the banner, right? So anyway, I want you to get your favorite drink and we're going to chat. So go ahead and just put any questions in there. You can ask me anything. Yes. Oh, thank you. Can you post that comment? Lana is perfect. You're perfect. I was. Thank you. Drinking water too. That's awesome. So we're like the healthy bunch here, right? No alcohol, just plain water. I don't know. There might be alcohol in here. I don't know. It tastes like water anyway. No taste. I gave up alcohol actually. I never was a drinker, but after my cancer thing, they say alcohol increases your risk of recurrence. So I was like, oh, forget it. No more wine for me. So I have been alcohol free for like 3 years. I don't miss it at all. It doesn't bother me one bit. Fire water. Yes, fire water. That's right. So Jay, where are you from? Are you from New Orleans? So you lived in New Orleans? Tell me. And Dave, how's your day going? How are you doing? And is there anybody else? Because I know there's more people. So if you guys want to comment and ask me questions or tell me about your day, I would love to hear it. I actually, you guys, got COVID twice in a month, so super fun. I was a novid. Because I that oh, New Mexico, family in New Mexico, I guess. You stop typing, but New Mexico, cool. Texas here, yay, Texas. When I lived in New Orleans, I went to Texas a few times. Very nice. I went to like Dallas, I think, and I went to Houston. Your family's in New Orleans. So cool. What part of New Orleans, Jay? I used to live first when I moved first to New Orleans, I lived uptown. And then I moved, when I got married, I moved to Metairie, which is the suburbs. So that's so typical, right? We bought a house there. It was cheaper than uptown, but uptown was super fun to live in. The French Quarter is always fun. So there's Mardi Gras and there's the French Quarter is a party all the time. Wish I would have, okay, can you post that one? Wish I would have your weather. Here it's gloomy in the 50s. Oh, you're in Seattle, right, Dave? I think he's in Seattle right now. Yeah, it's super gloomy there and it rains a lot. Okay, Bourbon Street. TX from Jamaica. Oh, how nice. That is awesome. Tacoma. Okay. Where's that? Where's Tacoma? I'm from Argentina, dude. So you have to tell me where it is. Tacoma. I don't know. I have to Google that. Tell me, Dave. So, can you post R.R. Denarius went to a coin show and picked up a 210 BC coin. That is so cool. Is that the one that's showing on your avatar? Tacoma is about 35 miles south of Seattle. Got it. Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew you were in Seattle, but Tacoma. And I heard that city before, but my memory is not what it used to be. Okay. So, I'm telling you, aging, not fun. Can I post pictures? I don't know if you can post pictures in the conversation. If they have like a little paper clip, that means that you can post them. If they don't, I don't think so. Um, yeah, no, I don't think you can. But I believe you. I believe you. Did it cost you a lot of money? Is that expensive? Oh, Jay, my memory. Can you post that, please, mystery man? Um, Jay's comment: my memory isn't very good looking. Neither is mine. My memory is ugly right now. Yeah, it's very ugly. It's como mi English. Oh, I hear you. I have Spanish mouth. I was telling um, Lana and my mystery man who's engineering the show, I had to literally mouth what I was going to say, like the introduction, because if there's a word that for a second I doubt how to pronounce it, I'm going to mess it up. So I know Jay, not being an English native speaker, also you can relate to that. You have to kind of like practice before you speak, or I trip over words sometimes. And it's because, my mouth is phonetics. Yes, exactly. Yes. Like today, instead of, I did another podcast called Brain Babes. If you guys can ever tune into it, it's a lot of fun. And I had a guest, and instead of saying Guinea, I said Guinea because that's the Spanish pronunciation. And I had to catch myself. I'm like, Grace, that's not how you say it in English. So I have conversations in my head as I'm speaking, right? Do you do that, Jay? It's like, it's insane to be bilingual. It really is. And you think in both languages, and some words in one language, other words in the other. Then you forget words, how to say it. You know how to say it in Spanish, but forget how to say it in English, and vice versa. I'm like, oh, it is right. Yes. So absolutely, he says, yes, I know you can totally relate. Yes. It's called, actually, in our brains, we have language genes, which you can look at it as a Venn diagram, and you have an intersection, like, Spanish like this, Spanish and English, and I have Spanglish in the middle. And sometimes, I'm sure this happens to you, I pronounce an English word with like a Spanish inflection, and vice versa, and it's like, and you catch yourself, and I feel like I sound dumb, and it upsets me sometimes, like, oh, Grace, you're live, don't screw it up. Y cuando hablas dialectos, forget it, right? I speak Argentinian, which is different. I mean, it's Spanish, but it has a lot of words that other countries, they don't even know what it means. Like, other countries have words that I have no idea what they mean. So yeah, I know. It's like my jaw hurts because if I speak Spanish and English, then you use different muscles. Oh my God. Oh my God. You have to post. I'm surprised that an ambulance didn't pass by during the show, which is usually the norm. Yes. Every time I'm live, you guys, I live near the police station, which is great because if you call the cops, they're here in literally a minute. I'm not kidding you. But oh my God, and the fire station too. It's like they go loud because I'm in a big street, and they go, and you're like, oh my God. And I always do the same tired joke. They're coming for me. Because what are you gonna say? It's annoying. But it's okay. I love where I live. I'm not complaining. I'm very lucky. Por acá sí pasaron. Yeah, right. Pero por lo menos tú no estás live. Yo estoy live aquí y me pasan los trucks y los ambulancias la policía, me pasan todos por acá, los bomberos, todos. And if you don't know what I said, Google it, guys. I know Jay understands. So also, Dave, Holly Dizzle, looking forward to the consistently beautiful weather in SoCal. So he's moving. I'm so happy. I'm going to be able to see you. We can hang out at the beach and see angels in the sky. You guys, after my cancer journey, Dave has been all through my cancer journey, the best friend you can have. He was amazing. He was counting the days, for me to end chemo. It's like day 20, you have 20 days, day 19. And he was cheering me on. And so we hung out at the beach when I was able to go out after my treatment. And we were looking at the sky. All of a sudden, I swear to God, you guys, we have the picture. I think it's on my Facebook. There was like an angel in the sky. I'm not kidding. I was like, am I tripping? And he was like, no, we didn't smoke anything. We didn't drink anything. I'm telling you, there was an angel. Wasn't there, Dave? There was an angel in the sky. And I was like, this is insane. What is going on? I don't know. Am I the only one who sees things in the clouds? Hablo español así así. Yeah, I know, Dave. That's okay. I love you no matter what, even if you don't hablas español. It's all good. So let's see. Private chat. What are you trying to tell me? Okay, he's telling me how many are watching. 5 still? I love guys. We're staying. This is a party. Let's drink some water. Let's drink some water. Mm, so refreshing when you talk a lot. It's like, and I had COVID. I was telling you guys I had COVID twice in a month. I never had it. This was my first time. This, if you're in California, this is a highly contagious strain. See, strand. I was saying strand. See what I'm saying? My brain. Okay. Oh, Jay. Oh, can you put Jay's comment again? Because it's like he's saying nice things about me and Gina. Eres la mejor. Usted y Gina Brillón por odio a la gente. Usted con Blanca y Carmen. Yes. Oh, I love Gina. Let me tell you a story about Gina, Jay. I freaking love her. Okay. And Holly Dizzle, my friend Dave, is confirming the angel in the sky. Yes. I'm telling you that we saw it, Dave, and we took a picture. So, but let me tell you a story about Gina, Jay. So, this was like 20 years ago, okay? Way back. We did a show with Gina. It was called in Chicago and in a big theater. It was fantastic. It was called The Funniest Latinas in America. Now, Gina was very young at the time. I was a little older than her. And I was selling t shirts. She came to the table and helped me sell my t shirts. I was like, this girl is like bomb. She's amazing. I love her. I've loved her ever since. I was like, since, because what other comic would do that for you? Not, believe me, comics will not do that for you because everybody's selling their own stuff. She came by my side and was pushing my t shirts. That's the kind of person Gina is. She's amazing. And I assume that you saw also, Jay, I posted the Love at First Laugh with Gina that we did during the pandemic. And she's just so eloquent and full of good advice and great fun stuff. So if you want to watch it, it's on my YouTube, and I have also shorts, but I have the whole interview on YouTube. If you can subscribe, that'd be great. If you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do. I'm very close to reaching 1,000 followers, subscribers. It's not followers on YouTube. And so yeah, if you can subscribe, I would love that. I would appreciate that so much. So, but anyway, so guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for showing up. This was a fun party. I love talking to you. And next month, we're going to have, let me see, I think it's September 13th. I don't think it is September 13th. We're going to have my friend Dobie Maxwell, who's also another comedian angel. I love him to pieces. I've met him years. This guy, I met him over 20 years ago, also from Chicago. In Chicago, I met him, and we've been friends ever since. And he is extremely funny. He just did a dry bar comedy special, and he's going to be on the show. He's a sweet, sweet guy and super funny. So I highly recommend you guys to tune in and chat with him and with me. And we'll do the after party next time too, because this is fun. Bendiciones, amiga. Tú también, Jay. Muchas bendiciones para ti. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí in YouTube. And so now, before we leave, I'll be back to say something. Cueing my mystery man because I don't ever put that on the outline. So we're going to have a couple of commercial breaks so you can see what I do and what I have in my online shop that you might want to get. Okay. I have so many fun things. It's the stateofgraceshop.com. I have so much. I have digital content that's not anywhere except on my OnlyFans, which is a comedy fan site, not, what is known for. There's a bunch of us comedians. We post our comedic content there. It's also on my Patreon, and on the State of Grace shop. And I have t-shirts. I have like 50 or 40 or 50 different t-shirts. I have mugs, I have desk mats, you name it. They're all there. So check it out just for fun and see what you like. And my books are there. And if you subscribe to my Patreon, you guys, for $5.99, you get to read my books for free. And it's only $5.99. You get to watch. I drop content every single week, and you get to watch episodes. It's like binge watch. You can binge watch whatever is there. Like I have one that's called Golfing with Jose. That's insane. It's a puppet who's teaching me golf, how to play golf, but really wants to hit on me. So everything is innuendos, and it's really funny. Yes, I have 3 books, Jay. I have one. I took it out of the market because I'm doing a character with that book. But I have one called Love at First X, and it's a self-help book to deal with the breakup aftermath because I'm a relationship coach also. And then the other one is a fun one called The Double Life of Grace Fraga. So you can read the books on PDF for free. And I am going to publish another book and put it on the State of Grace shop. You probably be able to read it for free if you're subscribed to my Patreon. You have tons of shows. Put some coin pics on your OnlyFans. Well, maybe you can send me some and I can be like, you know. My friends call me Hermione. Oh, really? Okay, I have to Google that because I know who he is, and I'm sure he's like a Greek god. Hermione. Okay. Wait, is that it sounds like a Greek god. Do they call you like that because it means something that I don't know? My little Spanish brain doesn't know. What is it? So yeah, so the coins. I would love to see some of the coins. RR. Maybe you can DM me on Instagram and show me the coins. I would love to see them. Harry Potter. Okay, there is a god Hermes. Yes, thank you. That's where I'm getting it from. My brain went there. Thank you. My ADHD, related. Emma Watson. Call me her. Okay, okay. Her character is called Hermione. Okay, I'm trying to decipher. You guys are giving me clues. I'm trying to decipher it here. I don't know. I think I'm getting it. But let's go to a commercial break and then we'll be back talking more about coins and some. Okay? All right, roll the commercials, Mr. There you go. So I'm going to have to update the code, State of Grace. I have to update. I will update it after the show, and you guys can subscribe if you want. That would be amazing if you could do that and um support me. Sorry, Emma Watson is Hermione in Harry Potter. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes. Yes, and go back to the coin one. In Roman mythology, the Greek god Hermes is Mercury. Okay, I know that. The messenger, right? Mercury. Yes. Okay, you guys are giving me like reminding me of my Greek and Roman art history classes. In Greek mythology, Hermes is the messenger of the gods, the mediator between the living and the gods. Okay, I can't read that fast. Mystery man, give me a break. Como digo mi English pedos. We're not going to tell them what that means. We'll have them Google it. Okay, Jay? So let's put back up the denarius comment. In Greek mythology, Hermes is the messenger of the gods, the mediator between the living and the dead, and the patron of many aspects of Greek society. Nice. Yes, I do remember being the messenger. Yes, because Mercury in astrology is the planet of communication. It's how you communicate. My Mercury is in Virgo. So I communicate like a Virgo, very analytical. But I have the Leo passion. So that gets in the way sometimes of my Virgo communication. My Leo fire, that fire. All right. So what are your signs, by the way? I know I'm not into astrology a lot, but it's kind of fun. So I know, excuse me. Still the COVID thing. I have a dry cough at times. So I know that Dave is a Scorpio. Por eso no hablo mucho inglés. Okay, there. Por eso no hablo mucho inglés. Pierdo todo. Yeah, right? Libra. I love Libras and I love Scorpios. I love those two signs. Scorpios and Leos, we have like it's a very intense relationship because we're both kind of like the same, very, very similar. Scorpios are a little bit more emo than Leos. But Leos were very like closet emos. We don't want to show the world. And you know, Dave, you and I when we get together, I was going through cancer, you and I like I was like, stop it, you're making me cry. Because he was so sweet. Oh no, we're gonna miss you, our Denarius, and send me some pictures of your coins, okay? And subscribe to my Patreon if you can. Oh, absolutely. We love you. Oh, thank you. I love you guys too. And Libras, Libras. Okay, let me tell you about Libras. They're the chillest in the zodiac. They're so chill, but don't fight them because their sister sign is Aries, and that's the god of war. Aries is in Mars. So Libras, but they're so chill. I love Libras, and they're like so encouraging and sweet, and like I love Libras. Very, very chill. I like that vibe a lot. And Aries, yes, I love Aries. Oh my god, my best friend is an Aries, and you and Aries are sister signs. So, but Leo, you're an air sign. I'm a fire sign, so we are like really get along very well. I Aries is a fire sign. That's what you get along well with Aries. But Aries is I love Aries. I get along. My bestie's an Aries, and she's like no bullshit, like bold and funny, and I just love it. Like I don't need to guess anything with her. She's got no hidden agenda. It's like in your face, and that's what I love about her because I don't understand hidden agendas. Oh, you're older? Okay, she's an Aries. Do you guys get along? I'm sure you guys get along really well. Actually, sister signs can get along really well or can fight. Don't forget to press the notification bell when you subscribe to the State of Grace YouTube page. Thank you, Dave. I need to get to that thousands, 1,000 followers. That's what I need, you guys. And I need to hit like 15 million views on the shorts, whatever. But I'm going to actually do more lives here just on YouTube. So both, honestly, both. Yeah, right. So see, I know exactly. The Aries and Libra, that's the relationship. It's like, when you love, you love. When you fight, oh boy, yeah, move out because it's going to be a fight. My sister sign is Aquarius. Yes, we'll get to that 1,000. Now let's go. Let's go. Yes. And I would love for you guys to tune in when I go live. I go live here also on Tuesdays at 11:30, some Fridays at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. So stay tuned. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm the State of Grace Fraga on Instagram. So you can follow me there. I post all my flyers and everything. Or when you subscribe to my YouTube, you're going to get notifications if you press the notification button, right? And you can get notifications of when I go live. Woohoo! Yay! Awesome. All right, you guys. I really appreciate you being here, and I had a blast with you. We need to do this after party. Eastern time is, oh, okay. So I always post the Eastern time on the flyers. So 11:30 would be 2:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, and that's my relationship coaching live. And then next Friday we have the Brain Babes podcast with Crystal Black, and we have a lot of fun on that podcast. We're going to have Rick Overton from The Office and Mrs. Doubtfire. We're going to talk about the research on water by a doctor. So I can't remember the name, but Rick picked that topic. Let me see. What the hell was but you know what I'm talking about, like water and that experiment. Like when you talk nice to it, it produces certain patterns, and when you talk mean to it, it produces other patterns. But anyway, definitely follow me on Instagram, and you will get notifications and like flyers. You can look at my page, and you'll see everything, all the lives that I do. All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Jay. You're the best. Thank you. And you're the best too, Dave. I love you guys. Thank you for staying and for hanging in there. And I will see you on September 13th. I was going to say 30th. Oh my God, my brain. I'm telling you, COVID affects your brain too. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So on September 13th, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. He's hysterical. You're going to love him. And then we're going to have an after party and we're going to drink our favorite drink, which apparently all of us, it's water, which is fantastic. I love the health crowd. All right, my loves, we're going to go into a commercial and then the outro, and I will see you very soon. Mwah. Oh, I'm typing. You caught me typing. So, anyway, that's it for today. I don't know about you, but I had a blast. And I hope you all enjoyed Lana's interview and also the after party. And I will see you very, very soon. Mwah. Much love to everyone.